Welcome to the egg. My name is Vertison and today I will be showing you how to build this base. It is in my opinion an absolute meta base, also having a total of 4 bunkers and everything else that you might need. I've put anything from a furnace wall to an open core to it also just looking absolutely amazing. Now let's get right into the tour. Okay, well, once you're ready to start looking at the base, let's start with the externals. We'll check out the upkeep right here. This is obviously a multi-TC base, so externals are slightly more expensive than what you might be used to, but it's not that much. It's the exact same all across the board. Now let's head in through one of the 3 gatehouses. Once we head on inside of here, we have a nice little airlock with peaks leading out. As well as inside of here, we'll have some nice little respawn points, as well as a nice little furnace wall and some rekit boxes right here to easily rekit during an online. Once we get inside, you can see that we have turrets covering every single angle, as well as a beautiful little furnace wall and everything else we might need. The base is fully identical on all 3 sides, so we'll start over here by simply walking over here with these nice peaks leading out and go through this single door to get upstairs. We'll jump up these jump ups all the way upstairs to get into our shooting floor. Once we are in the shooting floor, we're greeted by plenty of beds and everything needed, as well as some mixing tables and peak downs left and right, as well as some beautiful roof peaks right here. Go through this single door to get into a little turret area that can fully cover down your entire shooting floor during an online, as well to your liking. And once we get to the roof, as you can see, it is beautiful and has everything you need, including 3 bunkers all the way around it, symmetrical there, and here, which will have your batteries and some boxes to store away your loot safely. Once we end up over here, we'll crawl downstairs into here to our beautiful open core with 6 entire loot rooms, a nice vending machine here with a locker hidden behind it, and everything else we might need to conquer this wipe. Once we go all the way downstairs, we have another bunker and obviously our starter / our most strong suit of the base, and our TC can be found right here with upkeep on screen. Bunker is easily closed by simply placing this and upgrading it to armored, and raiders can now not get anywhere as everything is upgraded to armored. And as you can see, this is all perfectly honeycombed with multiple layers, 1, 2, 3, 4 walls to loot here, and 1, 2, 3, 4 walls here. Base is strong as ever, and I hope you guys enjoy. Now let's get right into the build. Okay, so once we're ready to start building, we'll add 1 triangle, 1 square, and 2 triangles right here. Our entrance will go right here, and then we'll wall in everything else. Once everything is walled in, we'll put a double door here, and our TC will go in the center of this loot room. So not here, just straight down right in the center. And for now, we'll put a single door on it, and later on it'll be a vending machine, but so simply people can't reach it. Right here, we'll add a shelf for some boxes and just put down our boxes right away, right after we add on these 2 frames. Once we got our boxes down, we'll start by adding a double door on this loot room, simply so when we open this door up, if we're getting door camped, they won't get to anything whatsoever. The only thing they will obviously get to is your workbench and furnace. I'll be putting 1 furnace right here, and then a workbench level 1, and that'll be our starter until we're ready to expand just a little bit. We'll start by adding a triangle right here, 1 square here, and this square will have to be wood as that'll be for the bunker. We'll then fill in the rest of all of these gaps, and then add a lifted triangle here, 1 triangle here, and 1 triangle behind this square. Once that's all done, we'll complete the core, leave that triangle outside, and then wall in all this. 2 half walls as a jump up right here, and we'll put a ceiling on top of everything. Once we have a ceiling on, we'll add a frame right here and a jump up to the next floor here. I like putting a floor right here made out of wood, simply so when you're inside of your base and this door is open, if you don't have this, people could sit here with a DB and easily kill you. But by placing this down, they will not be able to sit there. They'll have to sit way higher up. And once that's good, let's go decorate the rest of the core. We'll start by adding a wall here, 2 door frames here, a shelf right here for some electric furnaces, and then 1 more loot room right here. And this is what it should look like. So once the entire core has been located with furnaces, electric furnaces, and everything we might need, all we're missing is the vending machine. First, we'll have to upgrade all of these right here to metal, and this one to high qual. And then we'll put our vending machine right in the center of the doorway, and then make sure it's facing in, and just push it as far back as you can. Once that is placed, you should be able to reach your TC from right here, and raiders will have to spend 8 rockets once they have your entire core to even get to your TC. All we gotta do now is put down our tier 2 right here along this wall with some small boxes underneath it, as well as some extra sleeping bags right here, and our core is finally finished. All we gotta do is upgrade it. So now that our core is fully armored, all we gotta do is place down this roof tile right here, upgrade that to armored, and we can log off peacefully. Now do remember, if this is metal and your roofs are metal, then there's no reason to upgrade your bunker to armored. But if everything else is armored, you might as well spend some high qual on making your armored bunker. Now once we do want to wake back up though and break this, I would recommend using a machete or a salvage sword to break it as soon as possible, and then we'll break it and the bunker will open. And then we'll simply replace this floor and don't upgrade it higher than wood. Once that's all good, we can head back upstairs. Once we are upstairs, we'll start by filling in these 2 triangles remaining with honeycomb, and then I'll put symmetry on all 3 sides. So we'll go in between these 2 triangles right here and add 2 squares and a triangle, and then repeat the process as you can see on all 3 sides. First thing we'll do is honeycomb in our actual core, just like that, and then upgrade our ceilings to metal. Once our ceilings are all upgraded to metal, we'll go behind the bunker, as this will obviously be pretty weak, so we'll have to add on some honeycomb around it. So we'll fill in an entire circle around it, and then these 2 walls will be upgraded to metal, as well as these 2 ceilings. And our bunker is now secure, and our base is already looking very expensive, as if we get these garage doors down, our base is already almost 30 rockets to raid. Let's continue on building though. So first thing I'll do is that we'll turn symmetry off, and we'll add the last 2 jump ups on these 3 triangles. The 1 jump up here with the wood ceiling, and then 1 in front of this square as well with the same wood ceiling. Just like that. Until we're ready to expand the base further up, it will do it so raiders don't know where they're going to look when they're trying to raid you, so it will add a little bit of security. But for now, all we gotta do is honeycomb in these right here, all the way around the base. Once that's all good, I'm going to put symmetry back on, and we'll start adding our external TCs in front of these 3 triangles on all 3 sides. We'll jump down here, and we'll build out 8 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as you can see, that's all symmetrical all across the board. And then we'll break down all the remaining twig besides the last one. We'll then build back with triangles all the way until we hit the base, which will be right there all the way around the base. So we'll break all of these and remove this one and lift it like that. And then we'll upgrade all of these to metal, as if these break, that'll be pretty bad. Once that's all good, we'll build 4 squares out and add 3 triangles. And this triangle will be for our TC after we upgrade it all to metal. Once our TC has been placed all the way around, we'll put a window on it, and then we'll upgrade this to metal, 2 half walls right here. And all of this will be metal with another window on it, and then a single door at the end, or use a garage door, that's up to you. It won't really change the raid costs, as of right now, it's the same cost to go straight through here as it will be to go through the actual doors. And now that that's all good, we'll remove these triangles right here. With this one, we'll upgrade to wood, and then we'll connect it to our base by adding on a full wall here and upgrade it to metal with 1 frame right here, and then connect it back with frames. We can then remove this twig right here. Now that we're fully connected to base, the reason why I like keeping this wooden square right here is because if I need to disconnect them, I won't have to spend the wood on placing it. I'll just simply place down this to disconnect it, and to reconnect it, I'll simply do that. And our externals are now fully connected, and we're ready to keep building. So now that we're this far in, let's start adding our jump up right here, which will be no more than just a furnace to jump on. And we'll then add on this garage door right here, as well as 1 single door and a window right here. On this window, I like using an embracer and just a reinforced window. Then we can put a ceiling on top of this, and then we'll add on 2 half walls right here with 2 windows on top of it, 2 roof tiles right here, and 2 frames right here, as well as a ceiling on top of this, and a ceiling on top of all of this as well. Once that's all good, we now have an entrance to get up, and later on, this will all be upgraded to metal. Once we are this far up in the base though, we'll upgrade all the roofs to metal like always, and then we'll seal in this loot room right here, as well as this loot room right here. In these loot rooms, we'll have to have a shelf, as well as a ceiling on top of it. The shelf will be upgraded to metal, as well as some ramps facing in right here. That'll all be upgraded to metal. The reason you want the ramps facing that way is that if the raiders get in here, they will not be able to get through this ramp, but if your ramp is facing the other way around, they will be able to get through it. Once we have that in order, we'll add down some doors frames on it, and then simply put a ceiling on top of everything. Once we have a ceiling on top of everything, we'll get back to the open core in a little bit. For now, we'll add down some honeycomb around the jump ups, as well as metal up our ceilings. And then we'll finish off these chutes right here so we can actually get into our base. First thing we'll do is add a jump up right here, put a garage door frame on it, as well as 2 half walls and 2 low walls so we can place down this ceiling above it. If we choose to use a full wall, as you can see, we can't place the floor down, which means we won't have a shooting floor. So make sure you add 2 half walls and 2 low walls. Then we'll head upstairs and we'll add down this full wall right here, as well as this one, and these 2 frames, and we'll go inside of here and add a twig floor right here. We can add on these 2 floors on the outside of it. Once we have all that down, we'll add this frame back and add down the floor. Now that we have that, as you can see, we got some nice little peaks leading out of our base. Upgrade these 2 to metal, we're good to continue on building. I like upgrading these to metal as well though, as well as these, making the entire chute fully metal and stronger as possible. These 2 walls will also be metal later on. We can now soft set out these floors from the inside and add a chute on it like so we can actually get in and out of our base. Let's head into the open core and start placing some boxes. First thing we'll do on the bottom row right here will be placing just these 2 boxes as far back as possible, as well as 2 small boxes right in front of it. We'll then jump up on the shelf and repeat the process up here, just that on the second row we will not have the small box. Once that's all good, all we gotta do is put a door on it and repeat the process. Once the process has been repeated, we should have a total of 6 open core loot streams. All we gotta do now is add on these 2 walls, and it doesn't matter if you do it here, or here, or here. It's the same thing nonetheless. And once we have them down, we'll upgrade them to metal, as well as putting a locker right in the center as far back as you possibly can get, just like so. Put a single door on it, upgrade that to metal too, and then we'll put a vending machine in front of this as well. Make sure you place the vending machine just perfectly in the center of the thingy, and if you do it correctly, you will not be able to see the locker from either frame side whatsoever. You can reach the locker same way as our TC, store your best AKs, boom, whatever you might see fit in here. On one of these 2 remaining walls, I like having a mixing table, and on the last one, obviously a workbench level 3. And all we gotta do now is put symmetry on and make 2 more frames all the way around like that. On these 2 frames, we'll have more garage doors to separate our core and make the raid cost even more. Once that's all good though, we can head upstairs and continue on building. Now once we're ready to expand, we'll head out here on all 3 sides and add on these half walls as well as a ceiling on top of it. And then obviously repeat it here and here as well. We can then head on top of our roof and add down these 3 frames right here, upgrade them all to metal, and then add low half walls all the way around it, just like so, as well as 1 floor right here and 2 frames right here. Once that's good, we can add down this floor and upgrade that to metal. Right here, we'll have a window, and same on this side, and here we'll add 2 half walls so we can easily put a frame for a turret here. And then put a ceiling on this, and on these, we'll just simply put down some windows. Once our windows has been placed, we're good to continue. To do so, we'll start over here by fully walling this in. This will all be upgraded to metal, and a double door frame right here. Inside of here, we'll put a mixing table, as well as 3 sleeping bags. Don't worry, there will be beds up here too, but the more beds the merrier. And we'll add a double door facing in, like so. Once that's all good, we can add 1 window right here, and 1 window right here. We'll then head outside and build up right here out of twig, and put a frame, half wall, and a frame. And then upgrade this frame to stone. Frame, half wall, frame. What that does is that you don't actually have to worry about placing your embracers here just yet, as people can't get in nonetheless. And if your embracers gets raided, they still can't get through without breaking the rock. But we'll still add down some windows. Once that's all good, we're starting to look pretty good. So let's add 2 more windows right here, all the way around like so, as well as half walls here and here. Then put a floor on top of everything and upgrade it all to metal. We can then head on inside of right here and add some beds. So 2 beds right here and 2 beds right here, giving us a total of 12 respawn points, making you many respawn points for all your teammates, as well as 2 frames right here, where it's up to you if you want to have garage doors or not. I'll be placing them though. And underneath right here, we'll have room for 2 more boxes on either side, giving you 6 drop boxes on your roof. All we gotta do now is add on some embracers facing the roof, and then start sealing it all in by adding down 2 single doors right here, a double door for roof access facing the roof, and then these 2 single doors here, sectioning off our entire bedroom floor / shooting floor. All we gotta do now is put a ceiling on it all, as well as this. And then we'll head on inside of here and add on this floor right here, right after we add this frame that somehow disappeared. Once that is placed, we now have full control. And like I said, inside of here, I like adding a turret, meaning that it'll both control your entire shooting floor, as you can see from either sides, as well as your roof. If your roof turrets break, you can simply open this door and it'll control the roof as well. And underneath it, I like adding extra electric furnaces. Once our base is in this state, all we got left is the roof and the compound, so let's just start off with the compound. First thing we'll do is add 2 squares right here and 3 triangles. We can remove this square, and then we'll add our entrance right here with a window on it, as well as 2 single doors as a nice little airlock. 2 full walls right here, a full ceiling on it, and a double door here. We'll build these 2 out of twig, same with these 2, and upgrade the top one and the roof, just like that. We'll then jump up on top of here and place a twig floor and place 2 barrels. If you don't have the barrel BP or skin, simply just add small boxes instead. We'll then add an embracer facing in, just like that, as well as a double door right here and 2 beds inside of each gatehouse, giving you a total of 6 respawn points in your compound. Once that's all good, I like upgrading everything facing the base in a direct angle to metal, just like so, and just leave the 2 triangles as stone. Once that's all good, all we gotta do now is place down our nice little compound right after we add these peaks that we got from dust. So add 3 triangles, a half wall, low wall, and a low wall, and then upgrade them, giving you nice peaks into your furnace wall. Then repeat the process over here. Once that's all good, all we gotta do is add down our compound. So you'll just have to play around with this until it works, but once you get it to work, it'll work. So just try this on a build server, like I always say, to make sure that your compound is not wonky. But once you get it, you got it perfectly. And then repeat the process on this side right here. Just like that. We'll then jump on top of this and connect this to our base before we do anything, and then place down our barricades on top of it. By simply placing down some twig all the way around, you should be able to place these perfectly. Once those 2 are placed, all we gotta do is the same on this side. And we're now good. So let's head on inside and add down some large furnaces to create the furnace wall. Simply make it as high as you can and push it as far back as you can. And then the same on this side, as high as far back as you can. And as you can see, these turrets will shoot ankles and raiders won't be able to really see them from both sides, and they're fully covering your entire base no matter where in the compound people stand. If they're standing all the way back here, they obviously can't get anywhere without running into a turret, as well as obviously a furnace wall, creating way less space for raiders to get through, as if one of these walls breaks, the raiders can't actually get through them. You'll have to go above and around and face your turrets. So once we are ready to start sealing in our roof, let's head over and do just that. We'll start on these 3 triangles. So once we get to these 3 triangles, we'll start by walling them all in with metal. And the reason we have upgraded everything down below all the way up to metal is simply because this is the bunker. So if this is stone, then obviously the bunker collapses easily. But once we are inside of our bunker, we'll start by adding a battery inside of these 3 triangles. One right here, and then the same on all 3 other sides. We'll put a window on it and make sure that it's metal and facing this way. As you can see, this piece rotates when it does it, and you want it to face that way right there. And then we'll add a shelf right here that can be out of stone. And same with this one, we'll upgrade that to metal until it does that thing right here where it's like sticking out. So once it's sticking out like that, we have done it correctly. We'll then add 2 barrels right here, and if you don't have the barrel skin, keep in mind you could just put a vending machine in here or small boxes instead. We can also put a garage door on top of this. Once we have that down, we'll start by adding this wall right here, and that's basically the bunker finished. Simply open it up like this and we can get into our bunker just like that. But we're not done just yet. We'll also add this frame right here, but before we do so, I'll show you why. As you can see from up here, they can see your battery and see that it is a bunker very easily, and also probably explode inside of it. Before I do anything though, we'll put a window on here, and then we'll add this frame right here. As long as the bunker doesn't close, the frame's added correctly. Now if you add it right here, as you can see, the bunker closes, which is bad. So make sure you connect it to the actual frame and not right so it's floating and with a gap in between it. So add it right there, and then we'll break it down, upgrade that to metal. The bunker is now fully hidden. And same way as always to open it, just simply place this down. This is just broken because this frame is here, but now we're good. That's just the builder sanctuary skill gap. But once we have that down, all 3 bunkers open and we're good to continue. Now what I'll do is we'll place down our windmills right on top of it, making it easy to just wire the windmill into the battery, and then the battery into these turrets that'll be here, and these turrets that'll be here, and everywhere else in the base. Now let's continue on sealing in the roof. We'll start by adding these 3 roof pieces right here, with some actual roofs on top of it, and a turret pod right here, where we'll put a nice little turret. 1 turret here, and then a roof sticking off right here, and a roof sticking off right here. Now inside of our open core, I like adding another set of turrets, so we can have 2 more turrets right here, and 1 turret right here, giving us a total of 11 turrets total in the base, which is just enough to follow Rust's guidelines of how many turrets you can have. So there's 3 turrets on the roof, 3 turrets that'll fully overlook everything in the compound, and then 2 turrets inside of here, as you can see right here, and then 3 turrets on the shooting floor to fully secure everything. Only thing I would really recommend doing from here on out is to add some chain link fences here, which will also add security to your compound, as well as obviously secure your turrets from being explorated, or simply HV'd. And as you can see, your compound is fully turreted off and everything is finished. This is the egg, and I hope you guys enjoyed.